Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our Creators series with Vulture. I am super excited to be hanging out with Monika from NetApp today, not just because she is dressed better than anyone else on the show floor, but because we're going to be talking about AI and horses. Monika let us know that she uses AI to keep her mares safe, and I cannot wait to go down this rabbit hole. Monika, thank you for coming to hang out with us today.
Thank you, Savannah. Pleasure to be here.
The Vulture team is obsessed with you. Everyone loves you, even a little bit extra. They're very generous with their community, but it's clear you all have been working together for a while. Tell me a little bit about the partnership.
So, the partnership is very productive. Our companies together, I think, first of all, starts with similar cultures. And I think the partnership together is a lot like it benefits around customer service.
Yes.
Customers today want better customer service. And together, that's what we bring our customers. We help customers together create the tools to be able to supercharge AI to create faster customer service by enabling them with tools and to provide real-time insights.
And it's such a pivotal moment in a community member's journey interacting with a brand when they're having that customer service moment. You want results fast, and that's a combination of a lot of different tech things that happen. So how do you build that? How do you design that? How do you deliver those faster solutions together?
Well, a Vulture is really the muscle behind that. So they have the cloud with the powerful GPUs. They've got 32 data centers across the world. And NetApp, think of it as, if you will, NetApp is really the brains where we organize the data, where the data foundation, and where we can secure the data and make the data instantly available.
Yes. And people have trusted you with that for a long time. You just mentioned GPUs, and you may have told me when we got into the segment, you have a horse called GPU. Tell me a little bit about this stud and how you decided to name this little darling.
Yes. So we're blessed to be able to live on a horse farm. And so we had a stud colt imported from Canada. And I decided to name him GPU. And GPUs are my life for the last 10 years. And so he's a work in progress, and lots of fun.
Yes, I bet. And I think it's so fun that since they've been your life, since they've probably funded your life, you were able to give yourself a little treat of getting a new horse. So how many horses do you have on the farm?
Well, we actually have a horse boarding facility,
Oh my goodness.
but we have 5 personal horses that we use.
And how are you using tech to keep them safe?
So that's where it gets really interesting. So day to day, we work with lots of customers together with Vulture. And, the AI use cases are much different. But from the personal side of things and the humans and tech side of things, we use it in a couple different ways. The use cases that we use are around, one is you can think of it on perimeter security and foaling protection. So think of it as a digital ranch hand, if you will.
Oh, yes. Love this.
And so perimeter security, such as protection for the horses. We put together an AI-powered camera, so the security. So whether a truck arrives, whether a horse leaves or enters an incorrect pasture, then we're notified. These AI-powered cameras are set up with wired and wireless. The ones without electricity are powered by Verizon 5G, and then we receive alerts and notifications accordingly. We also have a lot of value received during foaling season. So we have horses and goats on the farm.
Oh my gosh, this must be such a fun time on the farm.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would see all the cuteness. We're going to have to see pics later.
Outside of work, it is a lifestyle for us. And if you've ever had pacing the hallways in a hospital waiting for a baby to arrive, as you know, they typically come in the middle of the night. And that's exactly the same with animals on the farm. So with an AI applications, for example, we use Nova Stable rather than sleep on a cot in the barn, which we've done that plenty before utilizing this application. We receive alerts. And so it tracks subtle signs of movement. And so things like there'll be restlessness from the horses, they'll be sweating, they'll be circling around. And so then we receive alerts to let us know that we can go up to the barn rather than sleep there all night, and to be able to keep our animals safer with the deliveries.
That's an incredible use case. So did you have to train the cameras to detect this style of movement, or is it enough that's kind of in a similar motion camera that you're able to detect that?
So it's in the application itself with the cameras.
Oh, cool.
And then it sends the alerts. So it picks up on these subtle signs of posture movement, and then we're notified to be able to.
That must give you such great peace of mind as a horse mom.
Absolutely, right? Because these horses, some are pleasure, but some are show horses.
Right.
And then, they could be from a few thousand to tens of thousands when you're at a boarding facility such as ours.
Yes. And have you noticed that folks who come and board their horses with you enjoy do you mention that you have this added cool security?
Absolutely. So it is certainly something that attracts clients to our facility.
Are they curious about the tech at all?
Absolutely. Most don't care what it is. What they really care is delivering AI outcomes to our customers. So very similar to the technology world of what we would deliver to our clients today here, such as at NVIDIA GTC. Yeah, different use case, if you will.
That's exactly kind of where I was driving. I think that we've reached a level of fatigue where people have heard all this hype about AI, but they're ready for those outcomes. Are there any cool projects that you've had the opportunity to work on recently that are driving some outcomes that you think are really impactful?
Well, I'll tell you another one on the farm.
Yes, please.
There's one from a riding and training perspective. I have another horse, and her name is Tamale, as in hot tamale.
Yes.
And she's quite spicy, as you might imagine. And not in a mean way. She is just more in a pay attention to me way. And I decided to try the EquiCoach AI application.
Okay.
And uploaded the video to see what perhaps that might tell me. And I really didn't think it would tell me anything that I didn't already know. But I was actually surprised with the results. She's a very high energy horse, very sensitive. And as I mentioned, she does like to buck a lot. And so what we found out by watching this and with AI is that I learned that I was leaning forward a bit on the transitions. So think of it this way, much like a golfer.
This is fascinating. Yes.
In a golf swing. Mm-hmm. If you lean, if a golfer lifts his head up during the swing, everything else falls apart.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So if I'm leaning forwards a little too forward on a high energy sensitive horse, then she reacts a bit more than I asked for.
Yeah. She gets a little spicy.
That's exactly right, Sienna. So the next day, I made some adjustments to my riding, and she was able to calm down a bit and reduce the amount of bucks.
So you were able to notice it that quick next day?
Absolutely. So I was able to have a more safe ride. So I was able to reflect that AI, in that case, was able to get me a little better communication.
Yeah.
And keep me a little bit more safe.
Yes. And also keep Tamale calmer. Absolutely. And that's such it's a really good use case for training. I would imagine you could do something similar with a lot of animals. Absolutely. On the ranch and learn a lot. Is there any project on the horse farm that you're working on right now that you're hoping to apply AI to next?
I don't have any on the top of mind right now.
Yeah,
you never know what's around the corner.
It sounds like you've got a really good system. What are you most excited about on the business side that you're seeing, say, even with some of the projects that you might be doing with Vulture? What are some of the impactful work you're getting to see your customers do?
I think as far as growing the business that we have and the partnership with Vulture, it's very exciting because the contribution that Vulture brings to the marketplace, leveraging the training and inferencing that Vulture brings to bear with the 32 regional data centers across the world, is incredibly powerful. When you put the story together with the power and the compute of Vulture, along with the data foundation of NetApp, and then with NVIDIA, with the AI tools, then you're able to build more powerful customer service agents and deliver more real-time answers to customers.
Yes, you absolutely are. You mentioned that GPUs have been your life, which is cute. What made you fall in love with tech originally?
That's a great question. I think it was a place where I could just always continue to learn every day.
Ooh, yeah. And where were you in your growing up journey when you started to play with tech? Were you playing with it as a kid? Was it something you found a little bit later?
I think it was post-college, actually.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And that's where the learning began.
Yeah.
And to that point, I spent a lot of time with my professional services people.
Mm-hmm.
And the professional services people were the ones that really led me along with that. And so we work very closely with Vulture. And we have put together some things where we have these professional service push-button AI services.
Oh, yeah. That's got to be
that help us really kickstart all the services that we can deliver around with AI.
That's awesome. All right. Last question for you. What would your advice be to an individual or a business who's really excited about all this AI stuff, but maybe feeling a little overwhelmed because there's a lot of information out there and don't know where to start? How can they get started?
I think it's a conversation sitting down with NetApp and Vulture and having a discussion to understand really what are the use cases and having a deep dive to peel back the onion.
Yeah.
Understand how we can solve the problems.
And I think what people might not realize is that's a safe space. They can have this conversation with you and you're there to help them navigate. And I can confirm these people are all extremely nice. So you should absolutely talk to us. Monika, thank you so much for coming to hang out today.
Absolutely.
I really loved it. And I have definitely got to see some pictures of all the baby animals on the farm.
Absolutely. Could I share with you my socks?
Yes, you can absolutely share. We got to share these VIP socks. Not sure we're going to be able to see them in the shop, but we'll be sure and show you guys a piano. Also, just her whole fit, just big shout to if chef's kiss, chef's kiss. We don't see enough great fashion in tech. If you weren't already convinced Monika was awesome because of what she's doing with her horses and everything in NetApp, this fit has got to sell you. I really look forward to catching up with you again sometime, Monika.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. And thank all of you for tuning in. We're here with our new series for Vulture's creators. My name is Savannah Peterson. Thanks for coming to learn with us.